Hi everybody, I'm Courtney Woods from Court Studio, and today I'm going to talk about false lashes. So, as we know, a lot of people like to wear false lashes. Now remember, each client is different and not everybody's going to want false lashes. If you notice that someone doesn't usually wear makeup at all, I think they will be happy with just a mascara. Now, you just kind of have to ask them, like, do you like false lashes? Do you want some? Do you not want some? And kind of go from there. So let's just say that they do want false lashes. Here's a few things that you can do. First, you're going to want to put mascara on. Even though we're putting lashes on, you still want the base lashes to be dark like the false lashes. That way you don't have like blonde lashes or something just like kind of hanging out. It'll just make it blend in better. Second, you want to put some kind of black liner on. So even if it's like really light or a very thin line, you just want to you're closing the gap from the false lash to their natural lash line, because it's very tricky to get right on there. And I mean, you can get right on there, but sometimes you can still see a line like in between, especially if you're just learning. So go ahead and put a black liner along the top lash and just follow that whole line. And then that will give you a good base and just a little wiggle room as you're applying the lashes. Next, after you do that, you're going to want to get your lash. You're also going to want to get one of these babies, because this will make it so much easier to put on, especially when you're putting it on somebody else, because your fingers, they're going to suddenly like grow 10 times bigger than what you thought they were as you're like trying to get these little lashes on somebody's eye, especially when it's somebody else's eye. So it's like, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, yeah, I've been there, done that. Get one of these. This helps so much. So get the lash and make sure that you're not reusing this on a client. Like, that client gets a brand new pair of lashes and they get to keep that pair of lashes. So if you need to accommodate pricing when you're doing makeup and stuff, add that price in there, because those lashes are going to that customer. You're not reusing that. And then same goes for whatever adhesive stuff that you're using to apply the lash. So like me, I have this eyeliner glue. I know there's magnetic stuff. There's also just the adhesive stuff that you can get from the store. So just make sure that whatever you end up using, that person is not, you're not like redipping. So you don't want to like have, like, for instance, I would never use this liner glue on somebody unless they're going to keep the the pen, the liner. So, oops, okay, hold on. Okay, so you're gonna want to use some kind of glue, and then you want to have something that's disposable or something that you can clean, sanitize. I used to use CD, like blank CDs, when we had CDs all the time. I would use that, but you can just put the glue onto whatever thing. I know they have stuff online everywhere of little things that you can use, reuse, or dispose. But put the glue onto that thing that you've chosen, and then you're going to want to use a thin brush. You can use like this is the multitasker brush with Saint. You could use this thin end, or you can use the line brush with that thin end. Any kind of like thin end. Now, whatever brush you use, you want to make sure that that is the brush that you use for glue only. Because if you try to use the glue brush, clean it and use it on something else, like, it's just not gonna, the brushes just are not really made to do that. They just will not be as good, I don't think. So have a designated brush, and you could even use like a cheap brush from the store, like, as long as it has a thin line that you could draw like an eyeliner with that glue, use that brush. So, and that will always be your glue brush. And you'll want to clean it too after you're done, but just always use it for glue. All right, so then you're going to dip your brush into that glue, and that way you can re-dip on this client because it's theirs. So they're not getting the like germs from somebody else, and then you're not like then putting this on somebody else. Like the biggest thing is just clean, 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 clean. Keep everything very clean and pay attention to what you're using on what. So then you're just doing that and you draw a line just right over that liner of the glue. You want to make sure that you get the ends really good, maybe a little extra. Do those corners, and then you can apply the lash once those are trimmed. So that's how you do the glue part. But before you even do the glue part, let me actually say, when you have your lashes, which is this is how you use this thing, you just like slip it in there, clasp it, and there you go. So before you even put the glue on, take those lashes and measure it on the person's eye. You're going to have them close, and then you're going to go not at the very outside. You kind of want to go in a little bit because your eye moves. Your eye moves around, and if it's at the very edge of your eye, then it's going to start lifting because it's going to have so much pressure. It's going to just start lifting there because the glue like has no wiggle room. Eyes move a lot. You got to have a little wiggle room there. So you want to go slightly in from the eye, like the lash line, and then follow it in. And once again, you kind of want to go in, like in a little bit at both ends. And then you're going to want to trim them. You're going to want to get like tiny little scissors and just like trim them, right? Or you can like, there's so many ways you can trim these. Because there's usually a thinner end and then it goes out. So I typically cut, like I measure where it goes. Like, so I would probably, you could do either way. I would start from one end though, like, so I'd start in and then you know you have that much left to trim. So then that's what you would trim, just on the one side. I usually do the longer end so that the little part is still there in that little part. But if someone like really wants like wild lashes and you don't want to cut off that extra flare, then you could cut the little end. But that is the only time I would really cut from the little end if someone requests it. I always do the outer one, just so it looks more natural on the inner part. So then apply that glue and put the lash on. Now here's something very important. When you're putting the lash on, you want to go lower than what you think at each end, especially in the inner corner. Go way lower than you think, because it is always way too high. And then that's why you have like these funky lashes and then they lift and it just doesn't look right. And then you have a bigger gap than what you gave yourself with the eyeliner. So just always remember, go in way lower at each corner as you're placing it on there. And then you just want to hold it there. Just hold it there. Read the directions of whatever glue you're using because they will all be different. Or if you're using magnets, it'll be completely different. So just kind of go with what the directions say for the glue or the applicating stuff that you're using. And then, yeah, just kind of like let it go. Let them go. And then their lashes should be good. You can then kind of like press and just kind of make sure that they're on there. You can flick it and see if they're going to fall off or not. Another trick, I don't think I ever told you a trick. Guess what? There's a trick that you can also do. Oh yeah, to go in. I was like, what am I saying? Also, what you can do to help the lashes stay a little bit better is when you apply the glue on their lid, also take that glue and apply it on the lash line. And just wait a couple seconds. You can blow on it, whatever. Actually, if it's for a client, I wouldn't blow on it. But just kind of wave it around just for like a minute, 30 seconds. And then apply it, because then it's glue on glue and it will just like stick better. So that's an extra tip for the lashes. All right. Okay, I'm going to show you. I'm back. I have a lash on. So I just put this lash on. I'm going to show you how to apply it on the one eye. I just didn't want to bore you with two of them. So this particular thing I'm using, I shook it a little bit, but once again, just read your directions and you'll probably be using a different glue with a brush. So it doesn't have to be a perfect line. Just try your best, especially if it's black. You actually do want to be a little more careful when it's black. But you can usually, I don't know, I feel like you can usually kind of blend things out with, not mascara, with eyeshadow. I'm really concentrating here. Oh. Putting a little extra on the ends. Let me go back through here one more time. Get that end one more time. Now I drew the line down to about there. So I'm going to draw this line a little further so it matches. You always want to compare the liner. Whoops. I did a little thicker on this side too. So we're going to go a little thicker. Oops, a little too thick. It's okay. I will be able to cover that once I have the eyeshadow on that I'm doing. All right, so I've got the liner, the glue, and then I'm going to pick the lash up. Making sure that the smaller end is going to be on the inner part. I like to apply outwards in. Now remember, don't go too far out. Go a little bit in and go as close to the lash line as possible. Oh, and don't don't unhook this ever. But if it happens, you can just reapply like that. And then I'm going to show you actually with my fingers on this one. Push it down further than you think. Don't poke their eye or anything. Just poke it down further than you think. Slash is being a little stubborn. I wondered about that glue. I was like, it feels a little dry. Ooh. Anyways, you get the idea. But that's basics of lashes. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want any brand help. I'm still on the search for the best lashes ever. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like re-glue this one. This one's not my favorite. Not my favorite. But anyways, talk to you later and go ahead and watch the other videos on lots of things. Bye.